Before you turn off the video, answer me one question. Which of the 9 solo songs do you like the most? I'm torn between what draws me in musically and what moves me lyrically, but among these 9 songs hides a very special gem. Some of the songs are already familiar from live performances, like Chess. Others, like Stone Cold or Almost Everything Me, would have also deserved to be highlighted and appreciated today. But today, our focus is on the song that doesn't just explore one layer, it goes deeper, unfolding on 2 levels simultaneously. Of course, it's possible that I'm overinterpreting, but honestly, I don't think that's the case here. The dualism, that is, the ambiguity, is metaphorically symbolized through the contrast of black and white in chess. But what are the 2 layers we're talking about? On the one hand, there's the obvious reading, the interpretation that most people would likely arrive at, the romantic relationship layer and the awareness of emancipation. On the other hand, there's the layer of societal critique, which can also be interpreted from the lyrics. Before we dive into a few lines of the lyrics, I first need to explain what cultural hegemony means, because, spoiler, that's what today is all about and is the second layer. You've probably heard the term hegemony in history class. It refers to the dominance or preeminence of a state. Cultural hegemony, however, represents a specific form of hegemony and falls within the sphere of socioeconomics and the sociology of power. In cultural hegemony, the focus extends beyond the divide between ruling and oppressed classes to something even more crucial. It describes how not only social injustice itself, but also the way most people think their general worldview is shaped by those in power. The poor, the dominated, the weaker, or simply those who don't belong to the hegemonic group often end up adopting the worldview of the hegemonic class. They start to believe that the unjust system is normal, or even right. Some go so far as to think it benefits them personally. In doing so, they not only legitimize the system, they also defend it, even justifying inhumane and absurd mechanisms. As an example, a layman defending capital accumulation. A further example of this is the economic quackery known as neoliberalism, or in the creation of scapegoats that shift the blame onto others, like immigrants or the unemployed, instead of questioning the system itself. Now, let's get back to the song. Just as our system is rotten and ultimately harmful to humanity, a toxic relationship is destructive to the partner involved. In that sense, cultural hegemony can be seen as the toxic partner in a relationship, and recognizing the problems and breaking free from them isn't just good, it's exactly what this song conveys. Let's take a look at a few lines.
Unscared and naive, you listen me for your own benefit. With a cunning trick, more than anything, not completely I realize everything.
These lines reflect an awakening, a growing awareness of power abuse and injustice. The lyrical self realizes how she's been manipulated, much like one can come to see the very structures of capitalist exploitation. It can be read on 2 levels, as the awareness that the partner is toxic, but also as something deeper, the idea that the partner symbolizes a repressive force within the system itself.
Calculated, educated, I'm the monster you created, so you changed me, I upgraded, I'm a terror.
I find that incredibly powerful, because recognizing oneself as the monster isn't just a clear acknowledgement of cultural hegemony. It also touches on the idea of alienation. Here's a video on the concept of alienation. What I especially love about these lines is that the realization of this transformation doesn't stand alone. It's directly linked to a clear sense of causality and guilt. In that way, the toxic partner becomes a metaphor for the toxic system itself.
This game is getting more and more interesting. Victory is mine. Obviously, I know I'm not the same person I used to be.
Sometimes lefties say it straight.
The proletariat can exist without the bourgeoisie, but the bourgeoisie cannot exist without the proletariat.
Even though pillars of repression, such as cultural hegemony, or those who serve as the foremost defenders of property, ensure that the existing order remains intact and is, unfortunately, legitimized by the non-hegemonic class, this line still carries a deeply emancipatory spirit. And if we apply this idea to the song's second layer, the layer of social critique, the lyrical self expresses a desire to break free from this unjust order. And it does so, let's say, with a certain optimism.
Better without you, better now. Better without you, ain't no doubt. You gotta show me your manners down.
This lines explain themselves, just like the bridge.
Because of you, I become stronger and I can go with the flow.
I think it should be clear that the song can be interpreted in two ways. Setting aside the fact that I simply love it musically, I should mention that, of course, I'm over-interpreting a bit, and I probably don't actually think the songwriters intended it that way. By the way, that includes DAHYUN herself, so if the credits are accurate, props to her. That said, I also find the song lyrically amazing, and it definitely gets my recommendation.